Hey, it's 28mm RPG, Rick here. Got some interesting things for you. So, I ended up writing up a little bit of a descriptor here of player's key to role playing. I know Shonner's doing a book, so check out Shonner's if you've never encountered Sean Driscoll. Check out his YouTube. I'll put a link in my description. So this is on my this is stuff on my Discord here. So I'm on Discord. I'm also on Gilded as well. So, but I don't really have much going on Gilded. I go over there to yak with John from the Basic Expert. Here we have, just to get cut to the chase, so player keys to role-playing. So I wrote these out for my players and for those that are on my Discord so that everybody can see where I'm at and where I would like the players to eventually proceed towards, and the reasons why. Just some notes here to help. These are goals in mind, so we keep in mind that we're all learning and improving here. Here are some ideas to keep in mind as you play. Okay, number one is always play the session in character. Describe what you're doing and what you're saying, but keep it in the perspective view of your character. Try not to metagame. I know this can be a bit of a challenge because everyone naturally reacts to what they hear and say in the session, even though their character may not be present in the situation. I mean, it happens, but just try to keep it at a minimum of as possible, because we were kind of playing it as if we were, in a sense of believability, right, within the context of the game. Think of the game master as a narrator of the current situation. Characters do not ask narrators questions, but there are ways to ask. Okay, so I listed out here some examples. If you want to further a description, just say, my character further inspects the mystery box looking for means of opening it, or my character looks over the scenic view, or whatever I've described as a narrator, checking for signs of the enemy we are seeking out. You can do that. That's awesome. Or specifying, I'm looking over the forest ahead. Any indication of low-lying scrub or brush we can hide in for an ambush. And keep in mind, I will usually have an NPC, or I will narrate certain things. That's no problem. We just want to keep it in context of the character. We don't want a Q&A question going back and forth, which is out of character. We want you to still keep in the brain of the characters. Okay, that's fine. It's great. Never ask, can my character do this? Just do it. If you feel like you want to do it, say that's what you're going to do. If you want to climb a wall, leap a chasm, just say that is what you want to do. The narrator will give you the odds of doing so before the attempt is made, or an NPC may further give you specific odds or help clarify. So if you do not have the skill, you can still attempt it. That's always a given. Okay. The odds are against success, though. So, it's going to be the roll of a die, and things can get interesting. So, always reread your character skills, or keep paper notes, just jot down in front of you. I know virtual tabletops, especially one that we're using, has everything in tabs. So your skills will be in tabs in one section, your actions will be on another tab. sometimes you totally forget what you have for skills. So it's always good to just have a pad of paper and a pen and just write down all the vital notes and keep them in front of you. You know, don't always rely on looking at the character sheet on the virtual tabletop. It doesn't have all the information there. Like, for example, a medical situation occurs and you forget that you have good medical skills to help out. It's good to keep your brain in check with paper notes in front of you, since the character sheets are tabbed and the info is sometimes hiding on the screen. So that's the thing about virtual tabletops. So in a tabletop, like an actual, you know, face-to-face game, probably won't encounter that as much, but do, you know, keep in context of your character. Always know what you're capable of doing as a player, you know, in the game. So I put down, besides some area for future notes, which I will expand on as questions are asked, stuff like that. The cool thing about keeping in character is the watchers on the stream game, which is, you know, for us personally on my channel, will be more captivated. We don't have to be actors to be entertaining. The flow of the game is important, and having game mechanics and rules look up is jarring for everyone involved, including myself. You know, if you watch a lot of game streams, you might find some games bogged down into hours of tokens being fidgeted into proper locations, players out of character for a good 50% or more of the session with a lot of inside jokes. I don't mind a bit of banter on the situation. We have funny things or ironic stuff happening, and you know, it's stuff that makes you shake your head or laugh. That's cool and fine. We're humans. We're not actors. We find things interesting. We may voice it once in a while. That's cool. That's you know, it's you know, you might you might laugh to yourself in some things, and that occurred in our last session. You know, it's all cool. So that's why I always go with a lot of theater of the mind, you know, just to, you know, so it's no longer a bunch of moving around tokens, switching on and off target, keeping track of that kind of stuff. You know, virtual tabletops are cool. They do help in a lot of things, but I've learned you got to strip it down. You just have to keep with the essentials in it. So don't go crazy with a virtual tabletop if you don't have to. If you want to play it as a board game, yeah, then play it as a board game. That's no problem. That's your style. But you know, this thing that I'm coming up to is on the next part here is exactly why I don't want it to be that way. Because, you know, I don't want to watch online sessions that way. I've seen, and that's why I will go with simpler rule mechanics as well. Games with simple, easy rule mechanics work well. You find that with Traveller. You find that with some of the old school, like AD&D and stuff like that. Castles and Crusades really cuts down on a lot of that stuff too. And with Cypher system. Cypher is one of those things that has a really simple, easy system. Boom, you can get stuff done. You don't have to look up a lot of stuff on you know, when a situation is happening. As long as the players know what their characters are capable of doing, that's the thing, is keeping that stuff in front of you so you can reference it off the bat, you know, your special abilities and stuff, your skills for certain things to help other players along in their, you know, in accomplishing something. That's part of your player, you know, maintaining your player, you know, your character persona. So keep that in mind. Those notes are important. Take notes, write them down when you're in a virtual tabletop. Have that piece of paper there with all your special abilities and stuff. Just keep it on the side. It'll be there forever. You just pull out that pad whenever you get to the game session, and boom, you have everything there. So, for example, I've seen one stream where the entire 3 hours of the stream was 6 character tokens going down a straight 60-foot hallway that turned left on the grid map. 3 hours. 3 hours of that. They were killing a few things along the way, but it was 3 hours of just like, it was mind-numbing. I don't want to be that group. There was absolutely no role-playing at all, and all the talk was tactical advice, metagaming tactics. So rules were being looked up all the time, and I just can't watch that. I want our gaming group, to be fluid and watchable by others and for ourselves, feeling like we've accomplished more than just one hallway in 3 hours. I want us to come out of the 2 to 2.5 hour session feeling like we furthered the story by that we've created with many interesting interactions. So, and I've gone ahead and left it, Rube, here for other notes. And then I said, hey, if you guys have any other suggestions that you can add to this, feel free. I'll put them up here and keep this as kind of a log of different things that we uncover as we play, as I game master and become more proficient myself. My players become more proficient at this too. And it's something that they can take to their own game table too, they'll discover, instead of spending endless hours just, looking up rules and moving, minis around on the map and stuff like that, they can go through a whole lot more if they cut down that. I play on my table over here. I do have minis available in certain situations and stuff, but our overall game is very quick. It's we're just going through situation after situation a lot faster. I only have the map out there if it's just something that specifically needs to be kind of visualized. So anyways, go ahead and make your comments below. Like I say, this isn't an attack on anybody. This is just me trying to get the word out there for our own, our own group, how I kind of see a way to evolutionize our gaming and build on it, because I want our players to have an enjoyable experience without having to sit back and kind of wait their turn kind of thing. So because that can be brutal. That could be just brutal. Three hours or more of a session, just having to look up rules and stuff like that. That's why I say, a simpler mechanics works better. Not using all the rules. Use the rules as a guideline, not as, the word, just feel freer with your system. You don't feel bogged down with the rules. Anyways, that's all I have to say. If you feel like you got something out of this and you want to go ahead and, hit that subscribe button. I've got lots of information here. I'm learning. You can learn along with me. So if you feel like it, subscribe.